You all remember where you were on May 22nd, 2023, right? No? Well, let me remind you. At 9 in the morning, headlines pop up all over the news and internet. Explosion at the Pentagon. We see images of huge plumes of smoke rising from the Department of Defense headquarters. One of the largest office buildings in the world had just been attacked. For a moment, fear and confusion, even stock market chaos. But don't worry if you don't really remember it, because it didn't really happen. Minutes later, we come to find out that this image isn't even real. It's an AI-generated fake, a fake so convincing that people panicked before the truth could catch up. That's the thing about AI that keeps me up at night, not mass job loss or killer robots. So, who am I? Well, I'm an AI expert, all right? And I just quoted AI because it's only been around for a couple of years. And so I'd argue that there's not really experts yet. Plus, I don't want to sound like every person on LinkedIn that's a newly baptized AI guru. But stay with me for a minute. I've spent over 20 years of my life on the front lines of corporate business, translating new technology into opportunity as a consultant for some of the largest businesses in the US. I've seen firsthand how technology can improve our personal and our working lives. I now run a firm that guides business leaders on generative AI strategy. And since generative AI is such a long word, let's just call it AI for the rest of this conversation. AI is truly an awe-inspiring technology, and it's moving faster than any technology revolution that I've seen in my lifetime. But there are plenty of uncertainties around AI as we try to predict where it will go next, what's its next major innovation, and what else it will disrupt. So as much as I love and I use AI every single day, I see something happening that makes me want to sound the alarm. AI has us rapidly progressing into an unknown future that I believe will quickly morph the perception of reality for our society. Said another way, I believe that AI has the potential to dissolve our shared definition of truth, and this is why I lose sleep. Right now, we all know the weather yesterday, and we can all agree on that, or what celebrity just unexpectedly passed away. That's part of how our society functions. We read the morning newspaper, or we watch the evening news, or we read a social media post, and they all align around a set of central truths that we as a society agree on. But what would happen if we could no longer agree? Not just on some highly politicized topics, but on everything. By just next year, it's predicted that 9 out of every 10 things that we see on the internet will be AI generated. So when each person is reading a slightly different article with slightly different facts, when the number of story variants outnumber proven facts, how will we ever know that what we're seeing is real? Or what we're reading is accurate? This is when our shared definition of truth begins to dissolve. But how might that happen? So first, we put on our AI truth lenses, which is our filter for skepticism and curiosity. And then we take a look at an equation that'll help us understand. So first, we have something that creates a distorted quality, all right? We're going to call it AI slop. And then we have something that can create an enormous amount of this slop, and we're going to call that AI scale. So slop plus scale can create an artificially influenced reality, and I believe that this is the moment that our shared trust snaps. All right, let's take a step back. Do you all remember the telephone game that we played as kids? You know the one. You start off with a sentence that's super easy and clear, but whisper after whisper, with each telephone hop, the sentence slightly changes. And suddenly a statement like, the teacher danced with curly hair, can end up becoming the creature pranced on a purple chair. All right, that's a lot like how AI slop works. AI slop is created when content is repeatedly copied and reproduced with AI, slowly diluting the original content. It's basically like playing the telephone game with an image or a news article thousands of times, and each time the output is a slightly different variation from the time before. Remember, AI slop is the first part of this equation. It's the quality distorter as our shared truth continues to get dissolved. This is AI-generated content with the nutritional value of instant noodles, all right? It's cheap, it's everywhere, and it's slightly suspicious, all right? Humans can already do and post AI slop. In New Zealand, a chef posted a recipe where AI suggested seasoning rice with bleach. It's gross. And it actually happened. Or the reposted picture on social media where a kid made a windmill out of turnips. And AI can auto-post slop on its own too. You've all seen that, the random, generic LinkedIn article with unnecessary and unrelated emojis. That's all AI slop too. And this slop doesn't just fill our social media feeds, it muddies the truth that touches us all. So without your AI truth lenses on, you might go online and think, boy, that website really just needs a new editor. Or why isn't my kid as creative as that turnip architect? And even if AI slop only dissolves a small portion of our truth, I argue that the next part is what will dissolve our entire reality. Okay, slop happens, okay? Remember, I'm a huge AI fan, so I love it. Using AI isn't the problem. It's when we use AI without accountability that we tend to get lazy on discerning what we're really creating and how often we're sharing content without the filter of our own human ethics. Okay, we lean on fast and done without consistently asking ourselves, is this responsible and is this accurate to share? So yes, the chefs and journalists and professionals of the world are smart to use AI, but they should be reviewing their AI-generated content before they share it. Sounds easy enough, right? Yeah. But remember, AI slop is just the first part of this equation. AI scale is what happens next. As our shared truth continues to get dissolved, remember, this is when AI creates a massive amount of slop. We are playing a worldwide game of telephone, but that's not just because the 8.2 billion people of this world might lazily use AI in their day-to-day. It's because AI will soon be let loose in the world without the final audit of humans validating the output. AI will soon be used to auto-respond to your emails, or to auto-submit your resumes, or to auto-publish your news articles. And AI can generate over 1,000 articles in the time it took me to just say that last sentence. AI scale happens when writing and publishing and decisioning on autopilot become the new norm. The results of which feed right back into the system that it had originally sourced its information from. And now both humans and AI are reading from that tainted information. And suddenly one single little shaky claim can echo into 1 million confident citations. So perhaps with your AI truth lenses still on, you're thinking to yourself, maybe just some people or professions shouldn't even use AI. But it's not about who should or should not use AI. At its core, AI scale is about the sheer volume in which we, both humans and AI, will be sharing this unchecked information. We'll be whispering those unaudited, potential untruths, sharing AI slop as fact on a global scale. So yes, the professionals and the lawyers and the teachers of the world should be using AI. Heck, I use it every single day, and encourage all of you to as well. But listen, this is a numbers game. If a majority of what you and I are sharing is AI slop, and if a majority of what AI is auto-sharing is AI slop, and it's doing so at this AI scale, we eventually reach a point where the truth just snaps. And after that, we're left to live in an artificially influenced reality. Okay, close your eyes for a minute. It's a year from now. We hear about a new variant of the bird flu, deadlier than ever, spreading from all major ports. We see pictures of people crying. We see videos of crowded hospital beds. Wait, stop. Open your eyes. Is this even happening? This is probably just more AI slop, right? So we check our trusted news sources. We go from outlet to outlet, shaking with pure desperation, because we're finding contradictions everywhere. Is the bird flu epidemic actually happening? Is it partially real? Is it completely fake? After your 10th fake of the week, you just stop checking. You can't do it anymore. Our shared definition of truth has officially dissolved. Not only do you stop validating the news, you stop reading the news. And we're quickly crossing from an information overload to a verification fatigue, which is exhaustion from having to fact check everything. It's about the moments when checking the facts feels harder than just ignoring them. Being overwhelmed and having to validate every single thing that we read on the internet. And yes, we've been validating our information for years, but it used to be somewhat easy and straightforward, and I believe that now may be a thing of the past. Our shared trust has officially snapped, and we're now living in an artificially influenced reality. In my example of this bird flu outbreak, it wasn't bad actors creating misinformation or deepfakes to try to create panic. It was professional journalists and reporters. It was doctors. It was your neighbors. It was your family. It was your friends. It was you. Well, and the trillions of auto-posting AI, all playing the telephone game with AI slop at an AI scale. So, who knows the actual truth, right? There likely is some truth to this story, right? But that also means that there's some untruth to the story as well. So what do you do now? What are the next steps that you're now going to take in real life with this distorted information? Do you go to Costco and buy a lot of water and toilet paper? Do you cancel your upcoming vacation? Or do you throw up your hands and ignore it and move on? And frankly, if this is how hard it is to get consensus on a potential bird flu outbreak, how will we ever gain alignment and agreement on larger geopolitical debates? Things like climate change, election results, wars? I'd like to get some rest, some real sleep, knowing that there's hope and that we're in this together. So you might be thinking to yourself, AI slop plus AI scale means we're now living in an artificially influenced reality, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. There's got to be something, right? Maybe AI regulation, maybe AI detection. But ultimately, humans have always beat misinformation by working together. It's always been our way through the noise. So even if we can get regulation or detection on AI technologies to flag some of the fakes or cite some of the sources, the last mile will always be human. So my human ask to all of us, my expert ask to you, is to put on your AI truth lenses any single time you are viewing online content, not with angst, but with skepticism. A healthy type of skepticism that I call optimistic doubt. Optimistic doubt is quick assessment, slow trust, purposeful sharing, and consistent reevaluation. AI dissolving our shared truth isn't stopping anytime soon. So let's work out our skepticism muscles and leverage our optimistic doubt. It's the human tool alongside of technology. It's the human tool that slows down the sharing of distorted quality AI slop and the massive quantity of AI scale. Optimistic doubt is the human tool that helps to prevent us from living in a completely artificially influenced society. And so while my skeptic thinks about all of this at 1 a.m., knowing that us humans have consistently evolved and have done so together, that's what gives me ease. Well, at least to get some rest tonight. Good night.